Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lesson. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. I'm going to be your guru of sorts for today. Why? Because it's Thursday Live Lesson. We answer any and all of your questions. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
We also have Kahai, the legend, for again say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
We are here, Three Musketeers, and we will answer any and all of your questions via email, via phone call, via text, via whatever you want to, however you want to send it to us. We'll get to it. If you guys want to ask us non-ukulele questions, go right ahead. Okay, I liked last week with some Nicktoons and stuff. That was pretty cool. Speaking of Nicktoons, I'll show you guys my personal like Nicktoon. I'll show you later on. Yeah, collectible. That's the word I'm looking for. I just got it. I talked about it last week and stuff. Very, very, very stoked on it. Like I'm owning a piece of my childhood, you know? All right. So Kahai, give us our first question.
This is from Chris and Sue. And they asked, what are the pros and cons of barring the first fret when playing a B flat chord?
Oh, okay. Well, pros, it's a lot more stable because if you're barring the whole first fret, it's it comes as a little bit more natural than kind of barring or doing a half bar. If you're barring it, it's a lot more stable. Beginners and some beginner intermediate players might have an easier time kind of holding the B flat chord this way. That's the main one. For other reasons too, I mean, it just depends on the song. I guess if you're barring the first fret for your B flat, you can kind of just use that as as like a capo. Since you're playing B flat anyway, most of the notes are gonna be kind of right here, just like if you were to play your A. So you can kind of imagine it like an A, like this. So your middle and ring finger are basically doing the A chord, but then one capo up. So you can think of this as your capo. But some disadvantages or some advantages to doing the not necessarily a disadvantage but an advantage to doing the half one, just the E and the A string is B flat is almost always like associated as far as ukulele goes with with F. I know there's B flat and other keys as well, but because B flat is so associated with F on the ukulele, like it's a lot easier to kind of move around doing your F chord like this with your pointer finger already in the E string and just kind of putting it down for the B flat like so. So it's not a lot of movement. I'm just kind of straightening up that pointer finger so that I play the E and the A strings on the first fret. I was kind of giving some advice on this chord to this past week on some of the private lessons here, but sometimes people when they straighten out their pointer finger, this kind of does this thing right here where like it bends back. Sorry to all you audio listeners, but the pointer finger kind of bends back like this, kind of doing the what would you call this, Aaron? This kind of weird bend, but
I don't know.
some weird bit anyway. So in that sense, this particular student like was having a hard time getting the A to ring out because it would do this because it's kind of like lifted up like that, but I was telling them to like maybe just swing, and their wrist is all the way here. If you swing your wrist and make it straight, it actually fixes that. It makes that pointer finger a little bit more straight. Because this is kind of the grip right here. My wrist, everything is nice and straight there. It's not kind of doing this. It's not too much, or it's not like this.
Yeah,
like I can't even like make it ring out that way, So check your form, but really that's the main advantage of kind of doing the doing the half bar. It's because if you're in the key of F, you're gonna go to B flat. If you're in the key of B flat, you're gonna go to F because that's the 5 chord and the B flat. You could be in a key of E flat, and then just kind of do that from the E flat here to a B flat there. It's still like less movement, so it's just about kind of taking those big movements and making them smaller so that it works for you on the chord changes. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think the one song right we get so often that people have trouble with, and we tell them to just like bar the B flat chord is White Sandy Beach, right? Because it goes from a B flat to a B flat minor. So in that sense, like you're gonna be barring it anyways. Yeah, just bar it from the get go. Like, and there are certain chords where it's just like, oh yeah, in that case, like just bar the whole thing. You know, don't don't worry about it. But yeah, it is. I was telling them, I answered Chris and Sue. I kind of told them like it's kind of like a chord by chord basis. Like it really depends on what chord you're coming from and switching to. So
yeah. That's why it's tough to say like the disadvantages, because it's not necessarily a disadvantage. It's just like there's advantages to doing the bar and there's advantages to doing the half bar, you know. And both are correct. If you can get all 4 of those notes in there, that's really all that matters, and you know, in the end. But you know, there's lots of ways and lots of reasons to do that, because it's not just for the B flat. It's going to be, you know, that goes rings throughout the entire fretboard. So if you're using, you know, the full bar, that's kind of, you know, that's good if you're playing up here and then you're doing all these like kind of solos and stuff. If you're kind of thinking about just having the capo there, you know, if you know the notes be on your fretboard. But if you're also using the half, you know, the half bar, it works out also, because from here you can go like it's usually associated with F, like I said, you know, like you can from this to this is kind of like your G to C, you know, even that from G to C. That's a big one. So G to C. So from G, I don't want to have to like completely bar the whole chord in order to get that kind of inversion on the C chord. I can just go from here and just drop that pointer finger down one string. See that? So from pointer finger here in the C string to the E string, it's a lot more of a subtle movement, but not, you know, not to say that you can't do it the other way either, because you can bar the G and then bar the C there also. So it's just advantages and different ways to kind of play it, not necessarily a disadvantage.
Yeah. And I think I told them too that like if you have an easier time playing with the full bar, then you can just play with the full bar for now. But then don't give up completely on being like, oh, I'm never gonna play it holding it that way or whatever, because you never know when it's gonna come up, when somebody's gonna say like, oh, you want to play your B flat chord like this so you can do this picking, or so you can do this certain thing. So it's always like it's just another tool to add to your tool belt, right? You never know when you're gonna need it. So
okay. Next question.
The next one is from Chris and Sue too, and so they're going through 102, and they're on the lesson where you're teaching the minor scales. And so they said, are we correct to assume that you have to use a natural minor scale rather than a harmonic minor scale? For example, in the C minor chord family, there is a A flat major and a B flat major chord, but the A flat and B flat would be missing in a C minor harmonic scale. In other words, does the circle of fifth apply only to the natural minor scale?
Yes. So that's a really good question. The natural minor is what's going to kind of give you the chord family and stuff, you know, other than like say the harmonic minor, where you have it's like a C harmonic minor. So you're getting that B, and there's no, you know, it's like there's no B diminished or a B in there. So it's going to be a B flat to the C minor in that chord family. So yes, if we're figuring things out that way, it's going to be natural minor. Those harmonic minors, and there's what was the other minor? There's like 3 different ones: natural, harmonic, and something else. And, you know, the third minor. You know, those are for like special special instances, depending on what kind of voicing you want to get back to the 1, because that C minor is your 1. You can kind of use a G7. If you're using a G7 to get back to your C minor, that would be that 5 to 1. If you're using that, that's how you come up with the with that harmonic minor to get back to C minor. But if we're just kind of like just playing like normal, you know, we don't want that kind of that tension to get back to the 1. We can just play it as B flat to the C minor instead. So that kind of works. It's not necessarily a 5-1, but that 7 to 1 works from there. So with that said, it's just normally looked at as a natural minor. The other two minors are more like special cases.
Yeah. And it's kind of like we said before, right? Like the music comes first, and then the theory comes after, where they explain like, oh, this is why it works. So they kind of came up with those scales and stuff, like to show like, oh, in this situation it works for here, but it is like
But the minor that we explained on 102, I believe, is a natural minor, because that's kind of just like, because if you were to play the harmonic minor and you weren't, and say like G7, you hit that note, it's not gonna sound good. So if you were if the chord progression, for example, was like C minor and to G minor, and C minor, G minor, let's just say C minor, G minor, if you hit that note there, it's not gonna match, but everything else does. But if you hit like it's gonna automatically assume that you're gonna hit the G7 there in order to get to the C minor. So that's kind of like a 5-1 that has more of a tension. But if you want to go from just like the ending chord of B flat to C minor, that works out fine too.
Yeah,
it's more of a natural minor.
Jim has a question for you.
Sure.
So he says, performers are usually herded to playing the songs that the audience wants to hear, which must limit them in playing what they would prefer to play. What do you want to play that you don't, because you think the audience might not engage? And then he wrote in like quotations, thinking about your Electric Boogie video, which was outside the Aldrine normal.
See, it's you guys think it's outside the Aldrine normal. That's actually the Aldrine normal. Like, it's not necessarily Aldrine normal to play like super complicated songs and stuff. If I'm just kind of sitting at home and just playing, just to play, that's the kind of stuff I would play. Like, I do like complicated stuff and really nice voicings and whatnot. But for the most part, I just like sitting down and playing. But to answer your question, yeah, you kind of have to pander to the audience. Like if you're going on stage and you want to play one or two songs, that's what I usually like to do, that kind of panders to the audience and kind of give them a show. And then once you have them, that's when you can basically play whatever you want. So it's not necessarily you can't be yourself, or you can't play what you want to play, but it's kind of a give and take between you as a performer and playing in front of the audience, the people receiving the music, like, because if you just play whatever you want, no one's, and if they're not vibing to it, I shouldn't say no one's gonna listen, because but if no one vibes to it, no one knows that it's not familiar, or if it's not something that grabs the audience's attention, then it's gonna be a little bit tough for them to pay attention and to get your music. I don't know how else to say it, but it's tough for them to be on your side, or to have them on your back. It's a lot more fun if the audience is with you than just kind of playing your own thing. And that's why, like, there's that whole joke where like the guitar guy at the party or whatever, like the guitar guy at the party will come and play a song like Wonderwall or whatever, and they're like, oh, I love that song, and everyone sings along. That's how you get the audience. But if it's a guitar guy at the party, it's like, let me show you guys my original song, they're like, no, we don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, it's there goes John again with his original songs and his guitar.
even too, sometimes it's like the guy brings the guitar and he's like, let me play you guys Wonderwall, and it's like, what are you talking about? We're playing video games. Like, why?
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you want to play Wonderwall? Like, we're about to play Mario Kart. What are you doing?
If you're going to a party in Anahola, you're not about to bust out your guitar and start playing Wonderwall. Something a little bit more appropriate. But yeah, you kind of have to pander to the audience to kind of get them on your side and make them want to see the show. But once you got them, that's when you can kind of branch off and do other things. So it's not like you can't do stuff. Granted, you have enough time, like in your set to do stuff like that. If you only have like 2 songs, play one song that'll get everyone, and then the next song they'll definitely listen to it. or not, or you can just stick to your guns and see if it works. If you stick to your guns, play your original music, play what you like and stuff, you'll attract the people that will, that want to hear that style or want to hear that music. So I don't know, you can be true to yourself, which is cool, but it's good to kind of like warm up the audience with something that they kind of know, or at least can groove to. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily cover songs or whatever, but you have to play a song that's like a 2-chord song, 2-3-chord song, so that people are like, yeah, I dig this, I can groove to it, but and then you slide in that like 9-10 chord song that that you want to perform for people.
In Magic, there's like a thing called opening tricks, right? Where they're like they're usually quicker and they're faster and they're easy to understand. Like you'll just do like, I change your card to another card, or I made your card disappear, or you can see it and it just happens, and it's like, oh, okay, I understood exactly what happened. And that's what they usually say, is you start with that first to get people on your side. Because if you go up to somebody and you try to tell them a story of like, this is a magic trick that my grandpa taught me, so it's really meaningful, and it has this whole plot where I'm gonna put these coins under a roll of whatever, a tube or whatever, it's like people are gonna be like, nah, I'm kind of checking out, or you can get a feel for too, like you can be like, you can do the trick, and if they're like, oh, that's cool, then you can keep doing tricks, right? But if they're like, oh, thanks, I don't want to see anymore, then you just like, okay, that's not who I want to perform for, or I know that trick didn't work, so you just move on. I think it's useful to have those things in your pocket, like have easy songs that is like, everybody likes this song, right? Everybody likes this and will recognize it. So,
what's your favorite opener, Kahai?
Opening song or opening
trick?
I always do like a
illusion, opening illusion.
for the illusionist,
slight, whatever you want to call it.
For the illusionists out there, I do what is it? Ambitious card, and then I just do like a color change. Yeah,
ACR to a color change.
Yeah,
see, I know your magician terms. I know your I've magicked before, I think.
Once or twice.
I've magicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about like making sure the audience is enjoying themselves, because if you're performing in front of an audience, that's like who you're performing for, right? So you want to make sure that they have a good time. That's kind of just how I see it. But everyone's different, everyone's gonna have their own opinion and stuff. If they feel like they've got something to say, like with their music, with their songs, go ahead, go say those things that that you want to say, even if the audience don't like it and stuff. But if what's more important to you is getting your message and your music heard, all the power, all the more power to you. So, but everyone approaches it differently.
And in general, like when we play music, we don't play any songs that we hate.
That's true. That's true.
We don't know any songs that we hate. Like we wouldn't put the time in order to learn them, So it's kind of, when we're on stage, we just play the songs that we like anyway, and then just kind of cater to the audience, right? You read the room and try to figure out what they kind of like or gravitate towards, and then play songs that are similar to that, and go off of that. But yeah, it's not like we're twisting our own arms to play a song that we hate, that's never the case.
Play this.
And that's kind of why we because like I really don't think I've ever learned a song that I didn't like, right?
It's true. And when we're like kind of discussing stuff, like we both kind of have to at least like the song, like we both of us. Like,
so that kind of disqualifies some songs right off the bat. So,
that I would play. Aaron doesn't want to, or Aaron would want to play, but I don't really want to, And then the only exception to that might be like for a wedding, which is why we probably we don't play weddings very often. Because if they let us do the songs that we
do anyway, then that's fine. But if it's like for a real wedding, like you gotta learn these songs because it's our songs for the wedding. It's like maybe you should hire someone else. Like a real wedding band. Yeah.
We're up there, we're all like cranky. You're like, I hate this song.
Yeah.
But there are exceptions to that rule. Like I remember playing for a wedding and I had to play like that 1,000 Miles song. Who sang that song?
No, I think it's 1,000 years, right?
1,000 years.
Oh, 1,000 years.
1,000 years. Yeah, Vanessa Carlton is 1,000 miles. But I was talking about 1,000 years.
Perry, right?
Christina Perry.
Yeah, I had to play that song, and like
I had to play that song for a wedding too. Like,
oh,
that's
really?
why I know it. Yeah. And
well,
I don't
it was
like
one
that
of my
song either.
It was one of my friends, and like I guess they heard the version that Chris Fuchigami did. They're like, we want you to play this. It's like, not only were like they asking me to play something I'm like not a, I mean, not that I hate it or whatever. I'm just like, that's not a song that I would sing, or I would play or whatever. And they're like, oh, here, play it exactly like this. I'm like, oh, that's
you should probably hire Chris because he does it
go
exactly
hire Chris
like that.
but yeah, I mean, I was happy to do it because they were my friends and stuff. And it's cool, but it's one of those like, man, if you weren't my friend, like, I
wouldn't make the exception.
I just ghost your email. You know what I mean? Like, no thanks. But yeah, they're like a good friend, so I had to learn it.
I think so like Jim, we know Jim performs too, right?
Yeah. Great keyboard player, Jim. Not knocking on your uke skills. Your uke skills are good, but dang,
U-bass skills.
Yeah, you play that piano like you're ringing a bell.
So I was gonna say, like, for people who are performers, how do you navigate to like somebody who might be pestering you for a song that you don't really want to play? Like, if you're playing live and they're just like, oh, play this song, like,
I'm like an improvisationalist stuff. Like sometimes they'll ask me to play songs, and I'm just like, okay, all right. So like, what you want me to sing? It's like, oh, can you sing? Or what's a really annoying request? What's one, Kahai?
I don't want to say
Freebird. Like say Freebird.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like say they're like, oh, play Freebird, and they're like really annoying about it. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. I'll like play. I'm like, an annoying, another annoying song, and I'll sing like, well, free bird, and free bird, and free bird, free bird, free bird, and free bird, because it's my show. You know what I mean? Like I can do whatever I want. If that's what you want as an audience, if you're being annoying about it, I'm gonna be twice as annoying. Like, that's just me. Like I said, everybody handles it different. Probably they're like, oh, I guess we'll play Freebird or whatever. I'm like, nope. This is my. How dare you hijack my show?
I have the mic.
I have the mic. Exactly. That's what people don't understand. I have the microphone.
Yeah, you can yell as loud as you want.
But yeah, usually I just ignore. I just don't say anything. But if it's really like persistent and just flat out rude and stuff, I'll say something and diffuse it, or if they're still persistent, then I'll do something that annoying. And like, if they're like, no, not that one. If they're like talking over me playing Freeboard, I'm yours, I'm gonna play the whole song. Like, But if they stop, then I'll stop with the, I'll stop with the annoying song. But if they keep going, I'll also keep going.
That's very Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I guess. And it's happened. There's been shows where people have been irritating, and I'm like, all right, you guys asked for it. I guess I'm reading this book or whatever Andy Kaufman did.
The Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby. I'll do it. I'm not scared to hijack my own show.
My favorite reaction to somebody's yelling out Freebird was a concert that I went to, and it was like the guy opening for the band, and somebody yelled out Freebird. And so he wasn't playing or anything. He was in between songs, but he's like, the guy who just yelled out Freebird, he pointed him out and he's like, what's your name? And he like stopped and made sure to get the guy's name. And the guy's like, oh, my name's Chris or whatever. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna play Freebird for you. And he didn't start playing Freebird. He played his own song, and the whole point of the song was like, the saddest thing is this guy has to come out to a concert and try and get attention by yelling Freebird at me. Like, he made that, right? But he made it in a way, like, or he sang it in a way where it's like, by the end of it, everybody was like both like cheering him and cheering the guy who yelled it first too. They're like, it's like, yeah, we wouldn't have got this song without you, you know. And so it's like, kind of including him, and you could tell like that at the end, the guy was like, you can't come back from that, right? You can't be like, I'm still gonna ask for Freebird though, because then it's just like people are gonna be like, no, get out of here already, right? But that way it's like kind of making it, diffusing the situation in like a really fun way too.
There was we were playing Kukui Grove with my old band one time. I wore that shirt before, but Daniel Cummings, he's an amazing guy to just like improvise stuff, you know. Somebody came up to us and they're like, oh, play Young Rascals, and we're like, we don't know that song, and they were like super persistent about it, play Young Rascals. And then Dan's like, all right guys, play give you 2 chords and play it reggae. And then they kind of played reggae, and he's like, this guy came up to me in the show, said he wanted Young Rascals. So we started singing, young, 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 rascal, 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 young, 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 rascal, rascal, rascal. and he was digging it too. He's like, yeah, that's my jam. It's like, what is happening? Yeah. So you guys got to remember, we have the microphones. So I mean, there's been like tons of I sometimes get too sassy on the microphone, like to people who are, you know, like who are sassy to me, and I'm like, oh, and I really gotta like hold back sometimes. There's some stories that I could tell after my career is over. Go ahead, Kahai. Sorry, cutting you off.
No. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like sometimes even in the jams, right, the Friday jams, like people will just start spamming songs that they want to hear. And sometimes just the fastest way to get them to stop is just to like acknowledge that it's like, okay, I see your song, but I'm still not gonna play it, you know. Like I can't play a song that I don't know, like a random song you just called out.
And I've gotten better too at like at ignoring like requests and stuff. I now have a 2-year-old kid who like will just repeatedly like, Mickey Mouse Daddy, want Mickey Mouse Daddy, Mickey Mouse Daddy, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Daddy, Mickey Mouse. Like I now have I've conditioned myself to just like not even hear it. So when I come back to the stage and there's that irritating person, I'm as zen as possible, you know. Like, yeah, if my own kid can't reach to me, what makes you think you're gonna reach me now? Like, I'm ready for the hecklers to come.
It's like Bane, instead of you thought you were born in hecklers. I lived in hecklers. Or you thought you know hecklers? I was born in the hecklers.
For reals. I mean, like, yeah, my parents, I mean, I've told these stories and stuff. My family are like the biggest hecklers, like, you know, in the beginning, like full on. It was my big moment. I was finally on like on public access TV, you know, like with my performance of Europa, like back when I was in 8th grade, I believe 8th or 9th grade. And I messed up on a note, and my grandma and like and my uncles and stuff, oh, let's rewind that one part where he messed up. Just rewind it over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, I was forged in it. Like, there's nothing that people can say now that would actually hurt my feelings. I have Teflon skin. So that's why I think I make for a good YouTuber, because have you read some of those comments? It's brutal. But my favorite is always going to be, what's Spider-Man's friend doing playing ukulele? Like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's
like. So, do you have any other questions?
No. I think that's it for today. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What were you gonna say?
I think it's funny that people, you know, we'll get comments and we'll occasionally like ban people on the comment sections of YouTube or like in the chat or for our jams and stuff. And people are like, oh, why did, you know, I don't the come back, or some people are like, oh, why'd you ban them? Like, I always ban people when they start like going after other people in the comments. I'm like, that's not cool, dude. Like, you gotta be polite. I think all of us, like, we don't really care what you say about us, but as long as you're being nice to everybody else in the comments, we're fine.
1,000%. It's not more so for us. You can tell us anything, and like we'd be okay with it. Like, trust me, I've taken some verbal beatings from people, and doesn't faze me at all. And but if it's kind of in a public place like that, and there's like the chat is public and people are seeing it, and we don't know like what the ages of people who are seeing it. There could be like a 5-6-year-old watching, like they just learned the ukulele. We don't want them seeing all kinds of hate stuff, on if they're watching the show and stuff. So that's the kind of times that we gotta put the band hammer down for people. But if it's just us, like whatever, I can take whatever criticism you guys got. I'm still doing it, yo. 20 years later, still here.
I think most of the people too who watch the live lesson or who are in the chat to know us, right? Like, so because we'll joke around with them like constantly. I know like a ton of the people in the chat, like I'll be typing along back at them, going back and forth with them. So yeah, it's just there's I think there's people who are like, oh, I'm gonna be extra witty and say this thing, and it's like, that's kind of rude, like not to us, to other people. So I'm just gonna take that off.
Yeah, but there are some times where like I'm a pretty sassy dude, you know what I mean? Like sometimes, and if someone's being sassy, sometimes I can't help it, but I'll say like I'll sass right back, and then I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that. I was a little too mean, Like there's been lots of times where like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now they're gonna go complain on the internet. Aldrine Guerrero said this, right, Kahai? I know your aliases. You're just like, oh, Aldrine Guerrero told me today at work. I mean, at his performance.
You don't know my Mahai Murrigan accounts.
Mahai Murrigan. I see you in your mules.
You see me on my Yahoo emails and everything.
Yahoo answers.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's funny when we meet people and we're just like hanging out, right? And it's like me and you, and we're just like going back and forth. I think that's like people get surprised. They're like, oh, this is what you guys are like in real life. Is like, yeah, kind of. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like we're basically the same online, but we just like,
If you can't roast your friends, are they your friends really? Like if you can't, you know what I mean? You need to get like friends who can like, who can rib each other with. Like you just gotta, like you can't, you know what I mean? Like even though like, I mean, technically like Kahai works for us and stuff, and I don't care if like, if Kahai starts to rib me, we're friends, right? I hope so. I hope we're friends. Shooting myself in the foot here. But yeah, I mean, it's me and my friends like kind of all rib each other. So that's how you'll know we're like good friends. If I start ribbing with you and stuff, and like the more like the harsher the ribs are, like the more I feel like we're friends. Because sometimes I'll rib people, but I don't know where your threshold is quite yet, and I'm just like, but yeah. So that's how you know the level of friends we've become.
Yeah, you just gotta
all right.
Gotta come meet us in person when everybody can go out back outside, right?
Yeah, that's it. And just have a drink with us, Just come to a Wednesday night or something if it's still there, if we still have our jobs. Like and we'll we'll hang out after the show.
Yep. Yeah.
And then anyway, next up, we don't have any questions from the audience or anything?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, so last week I want to show this off, and then we'll get to our songs and stuff. So last week I talked about we were talking about Nicktoons, and and Doug is my favorite Nicktoon of all time, if you guys were wondering. So it finally came in, my animation cell from Doug. So I now own a piece of Doug history. So this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So this is Doug. It's a screen, no, not screen print. It's a animation cell from the episode Doug's Lucky Hats, and I now own it. I'm gonna try to find a UV protectance, frame that or glass for a frame that I can put this in, and I'm gonna put it right over here, and everyone will see it every time we do a stream. It's cool, man. But yeah, I dig it, and I if anyone knows anyone from this show, let me know. I would like to get this, or I'd like to get like a commission or whatever. If anyone knows anybody that worked on that show, let me know. I would love that. I'd love that. I'd be like, hey, can like, I'll give you so much pennies if you can like just draw like Doug for me and stuff and like inside it. Yeah, it'd be really cool.
You have some connections with like the current like cartoon industry, animation industry, right?
Oh yeah.
But like you don't have connections to back 90s Nicktoons animation.
Yeah. So like Jim Jenkins, if anyone knows Jim Jenkins who who created Doug, be like, dude, I don't like give you a hug or something. Like that's it. That's all I'd want. I just kind of want to give the guy a hug. Be like, thanks for making the most vanilla cartoon that I grew up with.
They somebody tells him is like, oh, there's an ukulele player that really wants to meet you and just like hang out and stuff. He's like, oh, cool. What's his name? Oh, Aldrine. Yeah, I know that guy. I get a lot of letters from that guy.
He sassed me at a show. I'm like, no, I shouldn't be sassy anymore.
My security knows that guy is on my no list.
Heavy, it's like a restraining order on Jim Jenkins. All right, so we have songs due today. So what we do here on Thursday Live Lesson is we do a songwriting challenge, which we'll do a like a criteria, and not a criteria, like a what's the word I'm looking for here, a guideline. Yeah, guideline of what to what to write at it. Try to think of it. Our guideline this time was key of A. That's it, right? Just key of A, and I believe it's supposed to be, or one of the extras is A, B minor, D, E. That was like the chord progression. It was going like 1, 2, 4, 5, I guess. Bonuses are lyrics, open tuning or detuning or different kinds of tuning and stuff, because that's what the episode that we were talking about when we came up with these rules. And I believe we're doing theme songs. Okay, so gentlemen, this is my song. So what we do is a week before they're due, we show you guys the songs that we came up with, because we do this this challenge as well, and just kind of give you guys ideas on what you guys can do based on the guidelines that we we put out. But really, all you have to do is write a song in A, and it's all good. But we like to have fun here. So this is a song that I wrote in A. So I did this is an easy tuning. So I did an open A tuning, which means I took my G, tuned it up to an A, and then I took my C and tuned it to a C sharp. So it's an open A chord. It doesn't get any fancier than that, like for this particular song, because I'm just basically playing this and playing the chords A, B minor, D, and E, just like the guideline. So this is my song to or a theme song to the Aldrine and Kahai show. Here we go. Two guys talking 52, video games and 90s Nicktoons, bows and arrows and monsters too. Hot sauce and brown sugar show you. Put your ukuleles down, it's time to fool around with the legend and the Mario Kart Vince McMahon. ALDRINE KAHAI and the KFC. Aldrine and Kahai show. 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 Live studio audience. That's my song. I think it's the greatest song I've ever written, guys. It's the greatest song I've ever written. Best song ever.
I gotta save that for when Aaron isn't here, and I'll make a animated intro to it too.
Yeah. Record a clean version, and then we could do like animation to it.
Yeah, two guys talking 52, video games and 90s Nicktoons, bows and arrows and monsters too, like Monster Hunter. Hot sauce and brown sugar show you. Put your ukuleles down. It's time to fool around with the legend and the Mario Kart Vince McMahon. Aldrine Kahai show. That's my song. Best song I've ever written. I think I can retire at the top right there. That's like, that's it. I've been nominated for Hokus and stuff, and I think this is now my Magnus Opus.
That's gonna win you a Grammy, right? Like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, forget the Hokus, straight Grammys.
Yeah. Watch out, Jacob Collier, coming for you.
Yeah. Oh, once I start putting harmonies in there, it's gonna be sick. Gonna be some some half tones or semitones. I don't know, whatever you call them. I'll do it. I'll learn some and I'll put it in there. All right, Kahai, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I feel so bad now. Like after you played that, because I couldn't get a song out by today. I tried working on it, and the thing is, my original plan was, you remember the first podcast we did, or the first challenge we did? I think we did a Bob's Burgers theme, right? So I re-recorded the Bob's Burgers theme and I redid that. What I was gonna do is redo the Thursday Live Lesson intro song, cool. With my electric guitar, and then make it kind of a punk rocky-ish and stuff. And then I was even thinking about making it so making a video where Live Lesson comes up on the screen, but it's in Japanese, in katakana. It's spelled out in katakana. And then having clips of the Live Lesson in the text or something, so it's a anime intro. I was thinking about that, and then I started recording it, and I was like, I'm not really adding anything to it though, because I just redid the song, and I redid it on electric guitar, and I made it in the key of A. So I was like, nah, I was planning to do a song anyways, but I was like, nah, I gotta just scrap this for now and just focus on my song. And when I tried to focus on my song, I couldn't get anything. I told Aaron, I wrote out all these different chord progressions, and I tried so many different things. If you look at my project files, I have the project, challenge number 18, I think it is. And then I have A, B, C, D. So I did 4 different, started a project, it didn't like it, closed it, started a new one. So it wasn't coming to me. And even today I tried to still do something, but it wasn't coming to me today. And so I figured I'm not gonna force it, and I'm just gonna try and do it so I get it next week. Be one of those
asking
kids
for an extension.
Yeah, be one of those kids who turns in their project a week late and gets instead of getting an A, they can only get a C or whatever. It's okay, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
So Kahai's will be postponed until next week.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay.
I like this because I can't see your lyrics, now I can just enjoy. Yeah, because before I'd have to look away,
Yeah. So even me, this one was yesterday. I kind of had the idea of what I was going to write about, but it didn't come out until yesterday. So I don't even know it very well, but we'll see. So I thought about doing just a theme song for a time in my life, So there was right after college, I moved to Oahu, and it was just before, I was kind of working with Ryan, and we were throwing out some ideas and working on certain things, but I had a regular job, and I was going to school, and so I was trying to trying to figure out where I was gonna go, and so I came up with kind of a sitcom show for that time in my life in my head. And so it's called the show is called The Great Unknown, and yeah, so we'll see if it comes out right now. Okay. Nobody claimed to understand it. It's damn near impossible out on your own. And this life ain't quite the same as how you planned it. But you'll hold on to your hope, swing out on the rope and just let go. The great unknown, why is it called the great unknown? It doesn't seem so great. I'm wishing for the time when I'll have certainty inside the great unknown. It's a mistake, the great unknown. Yes, I'll just make it great. I'll step out of the line to find the great unknown.
I like how all the songs today were like 90s themes, like sounding close. Yeah, that was a very like 90s sitcom, like you know, like theme song. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, so Kahai mentioned Friends last week or the other week, and so like that was definitely like in kind of that in that vein. And then I had like a few others, like Family Matters, Family Ties, you know. It just like I just really enjoyed like that sitcom kind of era. And then that time in my life was really like, you know, just like going out there trying to figure out what's going on, like, you know, what to make of myself. And so, and you know, we've been doing this for a while now, but like, you know, it seems kind of like a similar time, you know, where like the world is very uncertain. And so like from now, like where do we go from here? So it's kind of like a callback to a time in my life that was very similar, or felt very similar. So yeah.
That's cool, man. That is awesome.
Well, what
I like the
use?
that chord, yeah.
What's that?
Oh, the second chord especially. It's nice.
Oh, so I just went A to F sharp.
So you get it B minor.
And then B minor to the E. And then at the end of the first verse, it goes you go F sharp, and then it goes B minor, and then it goes to that diminished chord. Oh. So it'd be like a D sharp diminished or something.
Beautiful.
And then E, D, C sharp minor, B minor.
That's cool.
And then it went to your A, B minor, D, E for the chorus. Yeah. But
I was just I remember you made a video like a while back of like a sitcom show or theme songs, like TV themes or whatever.
90s themes.
Yeah, 90s theme
all to the same chords, but yeah.
Or at least I've seen a video that looks like you that was doing that. and that's what I was thinking of, and that kind of like, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And those that chord progression is also, you know, with the that kind of similar to what you did. Or is it the chord progression that you were doing, or is it just similar? What was the chord progression that you did for that video?
I forget. I think it was.
We are the gummy bears.
Yeah.
So I watched that video to get some inspiration, and that's like,
oh really?
Yeah, I watched that video.
Yeah.
So step by step, it's like gummy bears. There's like Rugrats in there. Oh man, good stuff. Nice. Blast from the past. Have you seen that, Kahai?
I think I might have. Yeah. But it's funny because I also like just pulled up a bunch of like TV show intros, and I was kind of like taking notes on how they format it, right? And because they kind of all do format it in a certain way where there's like a build up in the kind of in the beginning, and then it kind of tapers off to the chorus, and then there's like a last little hurrah part or something, you know, right before the show comes on. But like that, because during that build up, that's when they like announce all the title characters, right? So like because like Family Matters and stuff, right? They're all like they have their what is the son's name, and he's like in front of the car and everything.
Eddie.
And then Urkel comes in the house and he's like looking around, right? So like I even like, oh, okay, if I write a theme song, I gotta try and make it like this.
Eddie polishing the police car that him and his dad Carl like
demolished.
Spiced out. Because it was like
was it?
They redid it because it was like an old. It was like an old police car that they bought, and they made it like this fancy
muscle car, right?
They repurposed it. Repurposed police car. Carl was the dad. Eddie was the son. I love that show, man. That show was.
But yeah. Like I mean, even lyrics wise, it usually they kind of talk about like, you know, life isn't perfect and stuff, but and then they bring it back together. Well, like we'll just deal with it and make it great, you know. So that was kind of the same format that I followed too.
I did that the format of like introducing the like the characters and stuff, you know, like so I did that, and I wanted to do like kind of like a call, like dun dun
like Mickey Mouse Club.
Maybe I just been watching too much freaking Mickey Mouse Club, you know. Excuse me. But yeah, it's the greatest song I've ever written, guys. I think I've peaked. I can retire tomorrow. I'm telling my daughter, just nope. Daddy's not writing any more songs.
It's kind of
pretty spam the rest of your life.
It kind of is like an art form, right? Like writing a song that introduces like the ideas of the show in like less than a minute, you know, maybe a minute and a half. And so like, and making sure that it has that like energy that you need for people to want to be like, oh, this sounds like a cool show. I want to stick around for it, you know? Like
oh yeah, even for the one that I wrote, I kind of purposefully made it so that you could clip it down too. So like the full song is like 50 or so seconds, but you could make a 30-second spot or a 15-second spot, just, you know, using different combinations of
cool.
You know.
Because they do that, they change the intro around and stuff.
Cool.
By the third season, right, like they'll just start showing like they'll start doing that 30-second version of the intro or whatever.
So we gotta make that show happen, Kahai. Me and you, buddy, the Aldrine Kahai show.
I don't know what I'm gonna come up with now, like for a song. You gotta really think about it.
And have Mike Myers and Dana Carvey sing it.
in full on outfits. Good times. So if you guys want to take a stab at this, you guys can. It's going to be in the key of A. That's really it. If you just want to write a song key of A, put it in the UU Plus forum on the Thursday live lesson song writing challenge thread that we have. We'll take a random person from that thread or from whoever submitted songs for this time, I guess. We'll give them a nice prize.
I like Hamsini already did a song.
So it
was really cute, and like her parents like wrote like something with along with it, and her song is like the mystery of Sherlock Holmes, I think.
That's cool.
But her parents wrote like, she hasn't read Sherlock Holmes yet. So it's
just so that's cool.
Neat.
That is cool. So putting your songs to the forum, to the UU Plus forum, and we'll pick a random winner. We'll give you something nice. So there you go. You know, I'm supposed to be getting a shipment of these, so maybe I'll give some away once I get the like the new sizes. I'll put some of the new sizes on, or maybe if you play a tenor, I'll put in the very, very cool mint chocolate chip low G's, which is the low G but no the unwound low G's that we did. or if you want soprano concert, or or whatever, baritone. I think we have baritone too. Or if you want a soprano with that very cool mint chocolate chip, I think you can do that as well. But I'll be getting them soon. I think they sent it out from Italy yesterday, so I'll be getting a box, and I'll send some to the winner.
Nice.
Yeah. So brand new, right? Hot off the press. Like, I don't know when they'll release those strings, but I'll be getting them first. So you guys can have a pack of strings that are unreleased yet. All right. So let's see what else we got on our agenda, gentlemen.
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it.
We're pretty early today. Any questions from the audience? Because we are, we are live, so we can get some audience questions as well. If you guys want to ask us any last minute questions before we go. But what's your plans this weekend, Kahai? How about that? What have you got? You partying, going to a bar?
No.
You know me. I go to all the bars and
all the raves.
I get all the drinks right, like the drinks in the glasses right, and shaken, not stirred, right? That's what you say. Yep, that's what I do. Yep.
It's party animal, this guy. So getting a haircut, what else you gonna do?
Living life on the edge.
Living life on the edge, man. Jeez.
Yep.
But let's see. I don't know. Have you guys seen anything cool lately? Oh, dude. Friggin' Hamilton. If you guys don't have Disney Plus, get Disney Plus and watch Hamilton. It is amazing. I'm like down for love it. Kahai is the one who introduced me to Hamilton in the beginning, and I know Kahai was like listening to it religiously like when the soundtrack came out, and I'm like, I guess I'll check it out. I'm like, oh, I just got Lin-Manuel, like it's how do you mean he wrote songs for Moana? Oh, this guy's so good.
Yeah. Talking about songwriters, he is like a really good songwriter.
Yeah, man. And like and I just got obsessed with it, and I started like watching some like clips of Lin-Manuel, and the one that I like fanboyed out to was he did a duet with Lea Salonga, which is the
for Hamilton.
No. Just like outside, like right before they let the people like inside the theater and stuff. Like she was like a guest. They do Ham for Ham. They call it, the show's called Ham for Ham. And his guest for one of the episodes was like Lea Salonga, who was like the lead role for Miss Saigon. But for those Disney folks out there, she was the original singing voice for Mulan and for Princess Jasmine. So she did A Whole New World. They did A Whole New World together, and I was just gushing like my my hands are like in my chin and stuff. Oh my God, Lin-Manuel. And then Lea Salonga, but it was really cool. So getting the point I'm getting to is Leia kind of like surprised him by singing this song, and it was like this Tagalog song that like Lin-Manuel wrote. Like what
what yeah, he can just do that now.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck, like what is just my heart be still, my beating heart, like I just got Lin-Manuel.
He's already at the top, but he's still leveling up.
Yeah, what the heck, man.
Do you know why he wrote Hamilton? Like why he started the idea came from? I think he was on vacation and he picked up like a book from the airport where it's like the biography of Hamilton, right? And so he read through it and he's like, holy cow, this is like amazing. I gotta write music to it. And so when he first pitched it, he was like, oh, I'm gonna make like a hip hop album that's just based on Hamilton. And then when he did that, they're like, oh, this is a pretty good play. Like it would be a good musical. And he's like, it would be a good musical.
We already have all the songs.
There is like a very early version of the first song of it where he's doing it at the White House, where he says like, oh yeah, I'm going to make a hip hop album for about Alexander Hamilton. And everybody kind of just laughed at him because they're like, that's a pretty silly idea. And then he like busted out and is like, holy, yeah, that is pretty much the first song from the musical.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite song that he wrote is still for a crab. It's Moana. That Moana song is still the best song that he wrote, I think. The shiny. Good stuff. So for those of you folks who have Disney Plus, check out Hamilton. It's awesome. Not like the most accurate, like US history lesson, but music is amazing. Music is amazing. So Kahai, you can borrow my Disney Plus password and watch it if you want to.
Okay.
Right on, man.
You'll look at like recent views and it's like, why I let Kahai borrow this for Hamilton. Why is he watching Mandalorian? Why is he watching all these other
Why is he watching borrow this and he's watching Sound of Music like 5 times a day?
Why is he watching a Goofy movie? Come on.
Anastasia, what?
Well, my admission is like after we did the podcast, I went back and I watched a Goofy movie.
Oh yeah, dude, awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. But all right, gang, it is 2 p.m. We've enjoyed just kind of like chatting, the three of us and giving you guys some advice. But come every 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on a Thursday and join us again. We do this every week. So for those of you folks who are listening in via podcast, thank you for downloading this. Make sure you check out ukuleleunderground.com where we have the video version of that for free now, and thank you for all of you UU Plus subscribers who are watching, especially the ones who are watching live. Make sure you check this out. We do have show notes that you guys can check out so you can know some of the stuff that we talk about. Sometimes we talk random things, and Kahai does a great job of putting in all the little links and stuff to the things that we talk about here in this show. But stick around for one-on-one coaching, and we'll see you folks tomorrow for a Aloha Friday Live Jam. Peace.